The history of the Toyota Yaris goes all the way back to 1999 when Toyota introduced the Echo. That was a neat little car that got about 35 miles to the gallon and didn't have a lot of competition because these smaller vehicles were just not that popular because gas was only a couple dollars a gallon and we were still living in the SUV world. Fast forward to 2013 and this segment is full of great competitors. In essence, this is the third generation Yaris. You had the Echo from 1999 to 2005, then you had the first generation Yaris or second generation Echo, depending on how you want to look at it, from 2005 to 2010, and now we have the third generation. It's gone through a lot of iterations. There used to be a sedan, but now we have settled on a 3-door and a 5-door model shown here. And that makes sense because when you look at the segment filled with vehicles like the Mazda 2, for example, they only offer a 5-door hatchback, and that's because it's a very practical design. Because there isn't much room in here, so you need to really maximize it, and that's why the hatchback makes a lot of sense, especially with the split fold-down rear seats. There's nothing revolutionary about the Yaris. It has a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, producing 106 horsepower. Gets about 35, 36 miles to the gallon on the highway, 30 in the city. And when you look at those numbers, it's pretty much on par with the competition. There are many competitors in the segment. Certainly the Ford Fiesta has made a lot of noise. Chevy Sonic, for example, as well as the Hyundai Accent and Kia Rio. When you look at some of those vehicles, you're going to get some great technological advancements like, for example, the Kia has a gas direct injection engine. Some of those vehicles have 6-speed automatic transmissions, while the Yaris over here, it just has a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual. And by today's standards, that's a little bit behind the times. But what separates the Yaris from the competition is that it's a Toyota, which means great resale value and great reliability. Perhaps the biggest competitor to the Yaris is not one of the competitors I mentioned at all. It's actually its older sibling, the Corolla. See, the Corolla is about to get replaced, so it's being discounted heavily. And when you walk into a Toyota dealership, you can actually get a Corolla for about the same price, and in some cases, even less than a Yaris. And of course, you're always going to go with the bigger, better value. Talk to any driving instructor, and they always talk about steering wheel position. Now, my hands should have a nice natural bend when I grab the steering wheel, and they don't. I should be able to bend my wrist, and I can't because this steering wheel just doesn't telescope out. And my knees have a natural bend, so my legs are in an okay position, but my hands aren't. So depending on how you're proportioned, this may or may not be a problem for you, so I would encourage you to test your driving position when test driving the Yaris. I'm not going to tell you driving a Yaris is engaging or thrilling, but then again, none of the vehicles in this segment offer that. These are economical vehicles designed to save you money, designed to be cheap to buy and cheap to own. You want something that's reliable, that's functional, it's going to serve your purposes from going from point A to point B, and guess what? The Yaris does it as well as anything else out there. It is a little bit noisy, but then again, every car in the segment is a little bit noisy. Bottom line, I think you can get a real steal on the Yaris right now. It's been out for a while. It's kind of a hidden gem in the Toyota lineup, especially since the Corolla and Camry get all the attention. But go down to your dealership, you could wheel and deal, you can get a good deal because after all, it is a Toyota.